Hi guys, and welcome to the State of Crypto, a one-stop source for all crypto-related news. I'm your host Martin, and this is episode 217, just a technical analysis edition. We might be wondering why we're doing just a technical analysis edition. Well, it's Sunday, and there was not a lot going on today. So, thank y'all for being here on this awesome Sunday night. I hope you're having a great time. I hope you're having a good weekend. It was a good weekend for me. A lot of stuff going on, actually. Sorry I'm not being here yesterday. I wanted to be with my family, spend some time with them also. And I did grill some stuff yesterday, put some ribs in the barbecue. Everything was really good, actually. A friend sent me a game over for a birthday gift, which was really good. I got... I never had this game before, Carcassonne. I got this... That was pretty good, man. He played really good. I played with my wife last night. It was amazing. And then my wife also gave me a board game for my birthday, which is also really good. It's Tokaido. So I do get some stuff that I get to play at home with the kids and engage with my wife and then the kids differently, which is good. Anyways, thank you for being here this awesome Sunday night. Let's if you haven't, what is it that we always say on this show? If you're catching the stream live, welcome. And if you're catching the replay and have any suggestions for us, please leave us a comment below. We really want to know what you're thinking. Now, if you want to be up to date with the latest crypto-related news, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and that bell so you're notified when we go live. If you want to keep on chatting with us while the stream is on, you can join us on the Discord. Link is in the description, guys. So it's a link to the amazing articles I'll cover here. Though there are no articles tonight because it's just a technical analysis edition. Now, we're going to jump straight into the technicals, like I said. So stick with us. I'm going to switch over to this small screen, and we'll get on with the show. Now, I do hope that you guys are enjoying this and having a great time, like I said. Now, let me post this on Twitter. Yeah, there we go. Maybe some more other people will join in. Awesome. So... what is happening with the market, right? Yesterday, we lost market cap, $4.49 billion. Today, gaining $2.11 billion, or 1.03%. Again, not recovering everything that we lost, so about halfway already, and that's good, considering that it's a Sunday night for us. Asia came in a couple hours ago, but, Europe might come in and help kick this up a little bit more. Anyways, other than that, let's look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance sitting at 64.31%. Yesterday it gained dominance, 0.41%. Today it's losing that, 0.32%, sitting at 64.32% of market cap. The price of Bitcoin at $7,000, 185.06. So 7,185.04 now. What's happening? Oh no, we're range bound, right? We talked about that. We talked about that Friday, maybe getting up here, coming back down. We did manage to break up a little bit more or above where we're at. Even hit 7,263, breaking above that 7,200, which we faced as resistance briefly. Right now, we're trying to rally up again. We probably already hit it once. 7,196, so close to it. Right now, we're staying at $7,183. Like I said, trying to get back up on this level, and it wouldn't be weird if we actually went back and touched the. What line do we have here? This is from a major line. Sorry, no, that's an entry point that I have, 7,500. Let's go to the other chart. This chart, that's what I was looking for. See, we're also facing resistance at 7,181, so close to it, right? In this chart, we're actually at 7,175. Again, above that 20, starting to tighten on those Bollinger Bands, right? Volatility leaving the market, about to get a wild move. It wouldn't be weird if we came up and hit the 618 at $7,969. We talked about that, right? But first, we're going to break above the 50, which is the one we're facing right now as resistance. And if we do manage to break above, like I said, targeting to the upside, to the downside, we'll potentially see hit 0.30, the 3.80, the 0.382 on the fibs at 6,394. Now that will be a move into downside. If we break below that, we still have support at 6,200, and below that we already discussed in an earlier stream. Now that positive momentum dying out. Neutral on the other side, 54.24. Nothing else happening, so let's go to the 4-hour chart. On the 4-hour, what happened, man? We ended up coming down lower, more negative momentum. We talked about this, lower on the other side. Nothing happening, just regular market motion, getting a bounce. And that's fine. Really, not much happening here. The only thing that we have is divergence that we created that was until yesterday at 3 p.m. right, and then we started to move down slightly. And again, we know these are movements that we expect in the market. Like I said, we're starting to see that indecision at play. Right, when I say indecision, we're not seeing those violent moves. Everything seems to be more or less short movements and just do and undos, right? Again, below, getting out of the 20, managing to hold it on the 4 hours, can tighten us out the Bollinger Bands. Probably an area we could look for a bounce. Low, higher, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum, low on the RSI, higher on the RSI, having nothing on the bullish path. The only thing we have right now, like I said, playing is the bearish divergence. We could get another pump, right, coming slightly higher, making a new, a lower positive momentum, and then a lower point on the RSI, and probably anchoring and having strong bearish divergence on both oscillators. Right now, we just have it on the MACD. Really, and that's fine. There's not a lot there. If we wanted to go very micro, this is just going to be over a 12-hour period, right? We could say we have divergence there and breaking down, right? That would be also bearish divergence on the 4 hours on Bitcoin. Now, neutral on the RSI at 56.80. Let's go to the 1 hour chart and see what we're gonna do there, right? Last thing we had was bullish. That was until the 17th, and we were here, and you know, we did get the movement to the upside again. We were expecting that. We knew we were going to find some resistance at 7,200-ish, and we did, right? We hit a bounce, and we used it as support for a little bit, but really failing to hold it for long. Right now, we're probably going to test it again. And same stuff that was happening with the 4 hours, right? We're creating this bearish divergence on the 1 hour chart, as you can tell, going from a high to a higher high. Going from positive momentum to less positive momentum, and a high on the RSI to a lower point on the RSI, right? Again, being congruent with the market. Bearish divergence, price action to the downside. We did get it breaking below that 7,200, or here we have it at 7,000, what was this line? 7,181, I believe, yeah. Breaking below that, 20, which is good. Managing to move below it. Are we creating divergence? Let's see. 1537, 14, so more. Low, lower, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum, low on the RSI, lower on the RSI. We're getting this slight move to the upside, breaking over the 20, but not on bullish divergence. Just on regular market motion, again, we're seeing this tightness on the Bollinger Bands, right? Volatility leaving the market. We were here the other day. We're talking like, well, look, we might get a move. We're probably going to expand, but not too much. We could just keep on channeling, and you know, even though we expanded a little bit, it wasn't a big expansion like we had back here. It was just a very minuscule expansion, right? So that movement to the upside was not too strong. Again, potentially targeting prices to the downside, right? Yeah, that's it for Bitcoin on the 1 hour. So just to recap, right? Bearish divergence, action to the downside, nothing here. On the 4 hours, we had strong bearish divergence, starting to move down. Really nothing else happening on the bullish side. And then on the daily, we just don't have anything else going on. Holding the 20, trying to move higher. We have resistance at the 50%, 7,181. We also have resistance on this other chart that we've seen at 7,200, and in this area. Fatty, how's it going, man? Thought the price would be going down. It's not doing anything. Yeah, remember how we said we were seeing a lot of indecision in the market? That's being translated into sideways motion. I do believe we're going to get a price moving to the downside, man. But right now with the sideways motion and so much indecision, and the halving event coming in May, remember how we were discussing all these things? The halving event that could be a potential for price action to the upside. And then how all the pressure from COVID could be one of those driving forces for price action to the downside. I think we might be seeing a little bit of that play out right now, because we're seeing a lot of indecision happening in the market, right? Like I said, still holding the 20, right? Still below that 7,200. Again, we did manage to break above it slightly, undoing that move. Holding support at, what is this blue line here? The 786 at 7,000 and change, right? I can't really see it very well. I do have a lot of stuff then, but let's say 7,134 just for easy, just to ease these out. 7,104 actually. So finding that area of support, trying to move higher again, but I'm not sure how strong this movement up is going to be yet. We're getting tightness off the Bollinger Bands. That's the only thing that's worrying me. And we might get a violent move. Unknown where we're going to go though. Could be upside or downside. And again, that's because we have so much indecision going on, right? On the 4 hours, like I said. On this chart, bearish downside, we're holding the 20, right? We're also getting that tightness of the Bollinger Bands, right? Starting to contract from this expanded area in the last 16 hours or so. And then on the 1 hour, we're also getting tightness of the Bollinger Bands, right? A little bit more than we were before. So again, we could probably get a valid move. We don't know where yet. The last thing we have was bearish divergence. We don't have anything in the closer term. Low, lower, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum. Again, bouncing just on regular market motion. But it's not a strong bounce. Probably going to move down, test the 20 on the 1 hour. We're probably going to test the 20, or we tested the 20 in the 4 hours and we're bouncing from it. And then on the daily, we've haven't quite touched the 20 yet, but we seem to be holding it. So again, some indecision going on in the market, right? That's why I said, look, price not doing much. Didn't do much here, didn't do much here, and not doing much right now. Gotta wait for Europe to come online at 7 in the morning or 2 in the morning, and then see what they want to do. And then if not, US at 7, 8 in the morning for me. We'll certainly start to look at the market again and see where things go. But right now it's the weekend, and weekends sometimes are slow. Yeah, not a lot happening, right? Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum yesterday lost dominance 1.90%. Today is gaining 0.82, sitting at 9.91% market cap. The price of Ethereum at $183.47. What is happening? Again, range bound, right? We hit the top part, man. Look, we did come and hit this top part. We talked about potentially hitting it. And we hit the, what did the 50%? 189. Finally, man. Finally, we hit it 2 days ago, right? We rejected. Then we tried to hit it again. We rejected lower prices. Right now, we're probably going to try to rally. And still within this range, again, within this higher range, right? 193.56 to 159.76. Let's see whether or not we can hold this. Something that's worrying me, right? And this, I'll just adjust this to where we're at. There we go. There we go. Again, we're having this. We don't have it here against the RSI anymore. But against the MACD, you're going to be able to see it. Now, this is for a shorter time frame, just a 1 hour. There we go. Send it back there real quick. Anyways, Fatty, how's your weekend, man? I hope it was good, man. Again, going higher, lower, again, creating strong bearish divergence, potential price action to the downside. We're seeing this pressure come in. It's happening at the 50% retrace, right? That could mean potential price action to the downside. Again, let's wait and see how this keeps on developing. We might try to rally again, go slightly higher, create divergence even once more before we actually move down. It was great just watching the market. Yeah, man. Yeah, for me it was also good, man. It was a good weekend. Yeah. Also, I just popped in today to see the market. Yesterday was so dead, man. There was nothing else going on. You'll see the XRP down to 16 cents. Yeah, I would love to get some XRP cheaper. So something I'm looking forward to. I do have this. Did this just come from the 1 hour, from the daily? Yeah, it came from the. Why is this acting so weird? There we go. All right, cool. So last thing we had was divergence that we were looking for, right? Obviously, we kept on developing. We kept on moving. This was 17th. It was bearish divergence. We kept on moving, and we moved higher, man. But still, we're creating bearish divergence, right? High, lower high, and going slightly higher. Price action to the downside, starting to move down. Holding the 20, bouncing from it. So again, the only place where we undid it was on the RSI. Spotify ads, yay. There we go. Anyways, divergence, price action to the downside. We're starting to get it. Holding the 20. So again, big chances divergence could not play out. Maybe we could create a little bit higher high, right? And again, create divergence again on the momentum, and then against the RSI. And then really look for a stronger movement to the downside. But right now, it seems like we're holding the 20. We might try to do another rally. That's it for this. Sitting bought on the RSI at 62.92. Let's go to the 1 hour. Again, I just wanted to come in quickly and talk markets, right? And look, we did manage to go slightly higher, right? And we could say that we're going like way high, right? And we're going like divergence, right? And even to here, divergence. We can break this in parts. That's one movement. That's another movement, right? because then we get one of them to play on the RSI, and we want that. Going higher, then going lower, positive momentum, less positive momentum. Here we're going higher again. We kind of killed it on the RSI like we did before, and the rest of the market. But if we zoom in here, you can say that this is hitting 80. This is well below 80, slightly. So again, going slightly lower on that RSI and creating bearish divergence. Again, price action to the downside. We get it. We're moving below the 20. Again, we're starting to get above it again. And again, low, lower, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum, low on the RSI, lower on the RSI. Really just getting a regular market bounce, but not really on divergence, right? Not on anything that's strong. Getting above the 20, trying to hold it. Benny, how's it going, man? Yo, did I see Michael Jordan's Last Dance on ESPN? No. He's the greatest of all time. Otherwise, how's it going? I didn't get to see Michael Jordan's dance on ESPN. Everything's going. It's good, bro, man. Not a lot going on. A couple of new people showing up to the stream. Fatty's here today. I'm not sure if Bitcoin Jake's here. He's usually on. Just watching though, and we got a couple new guys like Phil, Domi, and who else? Who else joined us? Willie Y or Will Y, and yeah. So we got a couple people now. Sometimes they show up. They just, I think they just joined us in the last 5 days or so. But yeah, we do got viewers and people that ask questions sometimes. So it's good, man. Again, the market's not doing much. Getting over the 20 right now. We're gonna move down. Probably gonna test it. Neutral on that RSI at 54.43. Like I said, it was the weekend was a little bit boring on the market. Not a lot happening. Let's go look at XRP dominance. Yesterday moving down 1.30. Today moving up 0.82. Sitting at 4.15% of market cap. The price of XRP 19 cents, 19.25 cents. And again, we did move up today, right? Look, before we went up, hit that 19,758, moved down. Sorry, where am I? You got recommend cash to crypto vacation. Yeah, that's cool, man. No worries. We all need to like decompress a little bit, and with everything that's happening on the news, if you're just looking at the market, you're probably gonna go crazy. So yeah, it's good to take time to decompress, to like look at something else, and yeah, step back for a bit, like get fresh air, and then come back in, right? Anyways, we're down here. We're looking for divergence. We obviously went higher, and we let me see, 89. 108. There we go. So we kind of don't have it, right? Because we went slightly higher on that positive momentum, right? It was a chance that could have happened, and it did. Like I said, it was very short. There was a big chance it would not play out, right? We're going from a day to a day that was getting built. But that movement to the upside, like I said, look, hit the 19,758, reject it. Then we move back down, hit the 20, try to bounce from it. Right now we're hitting 19,440 and we're rejecting, right? I think the high was 19,403. So like 1 off or 10 off, right? So why is Ethereum going up? You've been under rock from crypto since February. Do you know what? Ethereum has been one of the ones that has recovered the best. There are some technicals behind it. We've discussed them before. So there are some divergences that develop. Why it pumped a lot stronger than Bitcoin? That is a good question, though, right? Because Bitcoin has gone up like 6%, Ethereum went up like 12%, and then Bitcoin went up by like 9%, and then Ethereum went up by 20%. So yeah, very good gains in Ethereum, man. US oil down 15% at 15. Last I looked was at, sorry, man, I dropped something here. Last I looked at oil, it was around $20. I haven't looked at it yesterday, today. Certainly check those out. Bouncing off the 20, like I said, neutral on their side, 56.06. Not much happening on the daily. On the 4 hours, we're looking for this divergence, right? Again, the rest of the market went up. Bitcoin had, you know, that much strength, I guess we could say. But again, still creating divergence, 92, 80. So again, high, positive momentum, less positive momentum, high on their side, higher on their side. Bearish divergence, price action to downside, getting us back to the same level, right? We need this very nice bounce on XRP, and we might have divergence on the shorter time scales. We'll have to look there. But neutral on the RSI, 56.65. Let's go to the 1 hour. Did we create divergence? Yes, we did. Look at that. Unlike the rest of the market, right? The rest of the market doesn't have divergence. XRP does. This is the 1 hour, yes. All right, so low on the price, lower low, negative momentum, less negative momentum. On the RSI, I think we might be more or less even. 36.52, 36.85, slightly higher again. So yeah, we could. Yeah, there we go. So strong bullish divergence, price action to the upside, getting this very nice bounce, hitting the part of the Bollinger Bands, rejecting it a little bit, trying to move higher again, hitting the 19,440 that we have, or very close to it, and then moving down, right? So again, we do have real resistances overhead. Let's see if we move down, we might test the 20. If we break below the 20, we know we're targeting lower prices. If we manage to hold the 20, we could look for a potential bounce. And what happened? Look, we got the cross of the MACD over the Bollinger Band. Sorry, the MACD over the signal line. And we got that very, very nice movement, right? It ranged the Bollinger Bands, right, from the bottom to the top. Like I said, sometimes when we get those crosses, we get the massive bars. Sometimes, not always, right? But again, sometimes we do get those massive bars coming in, like here, right? Here we get a cross. Neutral on the other side, 52.68. That's it. We had divergence back here, by the way. Just like we did with the other coins, right? 71, 75, 72, slightly higher. So we don't have it on the RSI, just on the MACD. And again, divergence and broke down. Litecoin. What's happening with Litecoin? Yesterday, lost dominance 2.24%. Today's gaining 0.45%, sitting at 1.35% of market cap. Now, the price of Litecoin is at $42.92, holding the 20 like champs, channeling, right, getting that tightness of Bollinger Bands a little bit more tighter now. Positive momentum decreasing, neutral on the RSI at 50.69. Nothing happening there. Let's go to the 4 hour. 4 hour, last thing we call was bullish, then we went higher, then we've created divergence finally, right? High, higher high. And then we're going from positive momentum to less positive momentum, and then here we don't have it, right? We don't even have it here on the MACD, on the RSI, like we did with Bitcoin. So again, price action to the downside, we get that drop below the 20, trying to get above it right now on this 4 hour candle. We'll see how that goes. Neutral on the RSI, 52.79. That's it for Litecoin on the 4 hour. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. Last thing we called was bearish, divergence, price action to the downside. We moved down, failed at the 20, managed to get above it on divergence. No, just on regular market motion. Then again, just like the rest of the market, creating divergence right now, short term on the 1 hour, right? Market moving down, same movements in the market. Where are we at? Oh man, there we go. And then going low, lower, low. Where are we at? 16. 17, right? Low, lower, low, negative momentum, more negative momentum, low on the RSI, lower on the RSI. So that divergence we don't have on the 1 hour, right? Just like the rest of the market, we don't have divergence, but we're still managed to try to get bounce. Now where we are creating divergence here, unlike Bitcoin and the other coins, it's here. And it would be type 2 divergence, right? We'll be looking at divergence of medium divergence. That would mean potential price action to the upside, getting that bounce, getting above the 20 barely, rejecting lower prices once, twice. We're moving down right now. We're probably potentially going to test the 20 again and see how that goes. Neutral on the RSI at 49.94. Let's go to Binance. Really, not a lot happening. I wish the market had a lot more movement or more motion. Hoping tomorrow we'll get a better day, or at least a day with movement, right? Something that we can really look at and try to determine what the market's going to do. Yesterday, losing that dominance 1.27. Today, gaining 0.36%. Market cap, sitting at 1.24% of market cap. The price of Binance, $16.28. Very nice movement. Again, to the upside. Again, still creating divergence, right? Bearish potential price action to the downside. We're still targeting it. Above the 20, Bollinger Bands channeling to the upside, right? Slight contraction, but not much. Neutral on the other side, 59.23. Let's go to the 4 hour. Again, same stuff that happened, right? I was targeting divergence, it just shifted, right? It just moved farther down, and it got killed on the RSI, and that's fine. Price action to the downside, holding the 20, key. Again, if we manage to hold this still, we might be targeting, or might be going for higher prices, but right now, we're probably expecting a movement to the downside. Again, like I said, we're holding the 20. Let's see how this keeps on playing out the next couple of candles. something that could happen again, go slightly higher, create divergence, again anchor to a new lower low and a lower point on the RSI and create bearish divergence on both of the oscillators, right? Neutral on the RSI at 58.36. Now this is just on the 4 hours, yes. Let's go to the 1 hour chart. On the 1 hour chart, divergence, price action to downside, we move down again. From here, we can call this all one island, and that's fine. From previous island to the new island, right? That's how we could also target it. Or even from here, right? Because it's all going to play out the same, still bearish divergence. If we wanted to do this very, very technical, we would come from this island. Our previous island would be this one, so we wouldn't have anything. But if you wanted to ignore this small island because it's just so tiny, if you want to come from the previous major island, right, to this new island that we're developing, you just anchor from here to here, right, and from this low to that high, and you'll still have that bearish divergence. It's just still happening, right? Short term, long term, we still have it. Oh man, I want to move that. Didn't want to do that line. There we go. Let's check this out. 73, 74, 74. Okay, slightly higher. We don't have divergence on the RSI, just on the MACD. Bearish price action to the downside. Let's check this out though. Low, lower, low, more negative momentum, lower on that RSI. Then we went slightly higher, so we don't have that divergence that the rest of the market is doing. We're getting the same bounce that the rest of the market is getting. Moving up above the 20 the last 4 hours. Right now, it seems like we're holding it. It seems like we're bouncing. Again, tightness of the Bollinger Bands. So we could expect a wild move. That's about it for Binance. Let me look real quick at gold, silver, and then I'll come back and look at crypto. Again, last thing we targeted was hidden bearish price action to the downside. We moved down on silver. And that is fine. We haven't touched the 20, but seems like we're getting a bounce today, and that's fine. Gold, again, we had that same divergence again, moving to the downside. We expected. We retraced 100%, right? So we got a new 100%, let's say. But we knew it was an area that we held as support. We held it 1, 2, 3 times. 4th time we broke. And that's fine. Sitting at 1,682 per ounce. Now, let's go look at oil real quick. Let's go look at Dow, oil, and Bitcoin futures, right? Let's see how that's happening. All right, so Brent oil. It's at $30 and 59 cents. Last thing we called was hidden bearish, price action to the downside. We got it. Holding the 20. We knew we were going to do that. This is Brent also, but on a different chart. We're below the 20, right? And we're still rejecting, so... sitting at $27. West Texas, that's the one I think Benny was talking about. It's at $18.99. So not quite $15, Benny. I'm not sure which oil price you were looking at, but this is West Texas oil on Oanda. And sold on their side at 32.94, right? Now let's go look at Bitcoin CME futures, right? It's trading 7,200. And that was that's for today, April 20th. So the 17th still low. As you can see, we have a small gap and we have a tail to the downside and a movement to the upside right from the opening. So we kind of closed the gap, I guess we could say, on the futures. So that's fine. Now let me look real quick at Bitcoin to see if we got that movement to 7,200-ish. Yeah, I guess you could say we moved down to close the gap on the CME and then managed to move up again. And that's fine. We're just closing a gap. That's it. Now, Ethereum. Why is Ethereum so high? Again, Ethereum had technicals that made it bounce, right? Going back to Benny's question. Just let me play something else. There we go. And we're in an uptrend. And we managed to hold, and we held at 20, right? And that helped us bounce. Look at this bounce, 12%. Look at this bounce, 20%, right here on April 6th, 20%. Then April 16th, 12%, and then on the 18th, 9%, right? So 9, 12, 20. Right? Look at Bitcoin games. Bitcoin 3, right? When Ethereum had 9. Then had 7 when Ethereum had 12. And then 8 when Ethereum had 20. So they're in sync, but Ethereum is getting a little bit more, let's say, better price action, man. It's on technicals, right? It's all happening on market stuff. But why is it happening more severe on Ethereum, your guess is as good as mine, man. I would expect Bitcoin to go a little bit more wild with halving event coming in. But again, we're probably seeing a lot downward pressure from COVID and COVID's impact, and people want to remain liquid, so they might not be willing to take that much risk on Bitcoin. The halving event could certainly be a key for money to come in, but also for a quick pump and dump. So that's something that you should keep in mind. Price could go up just to come back down right after a halving event, on fear or on speculation, or people capitalizing on gains. But as you can tell, same gains, same days, right? So the whole market moved simultaneously. Just Ethereum kicked ass. Right? Ethereum gained better. Look here, April 6th, right? 8%. Ethereum April 6th, 20%. Then Ethereum on April 16th, 12%. Bitcoin on April 16th, 7%. So still more. And then on the 18th, 3%, and then Ethereum on the 18th still managed to accumulate 9%. So triple that of Bitcoin, right? Again, just been performing better, man. Good gains, but also worried about what could happen to Bitcoin, right? On halving event, on speculation, on pressure from COVID. You know, there's many factors that are affecting the price of not just Bitcoin, but many other assets. And all that uncertainty and all that risk awareness from people is just making it really hard to gauge the market right now, or market motion. Because while, look, I'll go back to oil example, right, and silver example. Let me get here to oil real quick. We called this out on oil. We talked about a movement to the upside. I'm not sure how many people went in, but if someone would have gotten in here at $25 and gotten out here at $37, they would have made like 40%, man, or 30, in between 35 and 40+%. So again, it was a good movement. How many people capitalized on it? I'm not sure. Right? Then we had divergence, right? Pressure to the downside, and now we're still high. So if you got in here at 25 and you're at 30, you're still making a fifth, right? So you're still making 20% on gains on if you would have gotten in here at this low at 25. That's why I said, dude, look, we've called stuff out. It just depends on whether or not you guys take it. It's all a measure of risk, right? And how much risk appetite each person has, and how much tolerance each person is willing to get. Here we didn't have divergence, but we knew we were oversold, and we were talking about it. I remember all this way down, I said, look, we're oversold. We're going to get a bounce. Lo and behold, we didn't bounce here. We anchored it here, though, right? As our 0 or our 1. Yeah, our 0. Our low. But we talked about this being a low, and silver. We talked about silver going back to its regular price of between $14 to $17, and where we're at, the $15 range, right? So back on its regular zone. On gold, we've talked about this movement to the upside as well, right? Because we were hitting sold, we were low. There were no fundamentals for this movement to the downside. It was just fear. We knew we could expect a bounce, and we knew we could expect a bounce on people getting back into gold as a safe haven. And that happened, right? We got the pump in oil, man. Oil, it's cheap right now. It at some point in time is gonna go back to its $90, $100 area, right? $70, you know, $100 back here, right? Almost 180s. And then for sure, hundreds back in May 14th. That's way too far back, but we could expect oil to go back up at some point in time, right? That's the point. It's right now very, very cheap. Could it go lower? Yeah, man. The OPEC agreement didn't do much for oil companies or for oil price, right? Even though they all agreed to lower production, etc. It's not really helping this market pump, right? Again, we're seeing stagnation, and we're probably seeing that stagnation because consumption is also low, right? You have less people traveling, you have less people displacing themselves from one place to another, meaning they're consuming less gas, which is probably putting a lot of pressure on oil because you don't need to be producing that much oil because there's not that much consumption of gas. So you're going to be producing a good, and you're still going to saturate the market, and you're still going to drive the price down. So you're probably seeing we're seeing a slowdown on oil production because there's just not that need to move, right? People are staying home, people are staying put, just moving for whatever key movements they have to go and come back, and really not exposing themselves. Until we see economy recover, I believe we might see the price of oil remain more or less stagnant, or around this area. Might even drive pressure a little bit farther down, right? I guess that's gonna be it for tonight, man. It's 10:37. It is the weekend. Tomorrow's Monday. It's a new day. Market's slow. Really, not much happening. I'm not sure we're gonna get about 7,200 yet. I do have an entry set up at 7,500. I'm gonna look at the 200. I haven't looked at it today. We also closed the week. I should probably look at the week chart for Bitcoin. That 200 is at 8,007, man. Even if I get at 7,500, I get a 500 run, and yeah, still I can still get over 1%, 2%, 3% return, which covers the market fees, and I might still manage to keep a little gain if I get it at 7,500. But again, we're hitting areas where we can reject. So that's Bitcoin against the 200. We're going to look real quick at the weekly because we just closed the week. And we want to look at a major chart. We're still managing to go up, but with less strength, right? Even though we have negative momentum, we're decreasing it on the weekly. That's something that's good. And for some reason, one of my lines got deleted. Or I probably have it on another chart. Do I have it on this chart? No. Do I have it on this chart? Yes. This chart, I have divergence, right? From here to here, from here to here. I just have different stuff on different charts, so forgive me if sometimes I just skip or look around charts to find something. So we're going from a low to a lower low, negative momentum, less negative momentum, creating strong bullish divergence on the weekly. We're starting to get the rise. We still haven't hit the 20, but we're heading towards it. And that 20 right now, it's at 7,793. So if we still manage to get below or hold below this area, we're looking still for lower prices because our bullish divergence is really not coming in strong. And that divergence, we don't have it on the MACD. We just have it on, we just have it on the MACD. We don't have it on the RSI, right? So that's one of the things I'm looking for on Bitcoin, right? We do have the divergence. We're starting to go up, but it seems like we're rounding off a little bit, right? Less strength every time we go higher. So high, less strength. High, flagging high. We're starting a new week. Let's see how this week goes. We might start to curve off and drop a little bit more, create that divergence again, and bounce. Or if we get above this area, man, 7,793, it gets us very close to a 200 simple moving average on the daily. And getting above the 200 simple moving average could be key for more price to get back on the bull trend. And then we could probably see this this momentum negate itself, this negative momentum, right? And create positive momentum, and then maybe get another bounce, right? And then target something higher. But right now, let's say indecision is kind of killing the market. We're not really getting a clear read. I'm not getting a clear read. And I've seen a lot of people like make bad calls on Twitter and other places, right? And just because you don't get a clear read, you don't have to make a call, man. You can just say, "Look, man, the market's weird, dude. I have no clue what's gonna happen right now, right? Like, it could go up, it could go down. We're in that area where we have had divergence that has not played out strongly to the upside and the downside, right? So I mean, it could go either way. I'm playing it with caution. That's why I tell you guys, take it a day at a time. Look at the markets. Look at divergence, right? We had the bearish divergence, right, on the 17th. We still managed to pump on the 18th, but still retained that bearish divergence that drove us down, right? So again, that's why we keep on tracking. That's why we keep on looking at the market. Some people might have the right call. Some people might not make the right call, right? So look, when I'm seeing indecision in the market, I'll tell you guys. It's weird, dude. I can't. I'm telling you what I'm looking at, but I do believe there's a lot of indecision happening, right? And I do believe there's a lot of fundamentals, being not technical analysis, right, that are happening in the world that are making the market behave weirdly, right, and erratical and irrational at best. So yeah, I think that's gonna be it for tonight. If you guys have any questions, you can put them on the chat. If you want me to look at a particular asset, you can also put it in the chat. I don't think I look at the US 30. Benny, I know you like to look at that. I'll check it out real quick. Dow Live, where are we at? Losing a little bit, right, from the 17th. So seems like we gapped down and we're starting to move up right now, but we're still slightly below. Yeah, 61 points below right now. Who knows? By the opening bell, we might get another rally, right? Another run. Something I didn't call here, right? But it's there. It's just very tiny, right? High, higher, high, positive momentum, less positive momentum, right? Bearish divergence. But again, this could continue on building and then go higher, and then this goes higher, and it just gets negated, right? Then we would be targeting this one from back here, right? Check out Encash. All right, cool. Yeah, I'll check out Encash. Just for Dude, Encash is no longer quoting. I think it got delisted from Binance. Encash to the dollar. Resolve error, invalid symbol. Let me look at it in another place. Oh, fuck, man. I can't get a read on Encash except against Bitcoin, I guess. And, don't look good, man, right? It's just been downhill ever since. The lowest it's ever been. Trying to get a bounce. High. Lower high. Positive. More positive. Hidden bearish. Potential price action to the downside. Yeah, I'll check it out. Encash to Ethereum. Man, not looking good for Encash against Bitcoin for sure. Let's see, Encash. It's probably going to look worse against Ethereum because Ethereum has been playing much better, right? Encash against Ethereum. It's even lower. Right, still the lowest low it's ever been. Like at 105. Like 0.00000. Yeah, like 5 zeros in 105, man. That's just too little, man. But again, we're seeing the same stuff, right? Low, lower low. Price going slightly higher, right? On that positive momentum. This is 1, this is 2. Again, oversold on the RSI, 14.73. Yeah, I remember when you got into this, and I told you, man, I'm not sure I'm gonna get into this coin. It's just, yeah, you have a lot of potential to the upside, but man, it wasn't there, man. I'm sorry you took a nasty hit on this one. Really not seeing why I would get into this. Or, you know, it's some like slight bullish divergence, right? Price action to the upside below the 20. High, higher high. Very, very slightly more positive momentum. Not looking good. Below 20 still. Tightening on the Bollinger Bands. Down the 1 hour, man. I really don't care about this 1 hour chart real quick. I'll just hide this because it came from the 4 hour. And it's making this look weird. But again, against Ethereum, if you don't have a quote that it's out to a fiat ramp, you managed to get a hit. Because you have to like change to another currency and then change out to cash, right? So again, bullish divergence, right? I think that's the only thing I can see, man. There's really not much happening with this coin. Play something else here. Price action to the upside wasn't even that strong. High, higher high, more positive momentum. Yeah. From here to here, I guess, yeah, from here moving sideways, I guess we could say sideways motion. And then you're going lower on your oscillator, right? Creating that medium divergence, medium bearish. Price action to the downside, to that drop. Right, let's see. I can't even get a read on the MACD, man. It just says 0 all the way across. So this is all 0. It's just very tiny, man. So we can't even get a good read on divergence here. So we're really not doing much, man. Again, yeah, I would stay. Right now, with the markets, with all these social uncertainty, global uncertainty, COVID, people trying to stay out of risky areas, I don't think it's a good time to get into the small altcoins. Because there's a big chance those are the riskiest assets, and people might leave and go out. Hey, Will Y, how's it going, man? Thoughts on DGB? Let's look at that. DGB to the dollar. All right, like I said, man, low cryptos, right? Low value cryptos are the highest risk. Bitcoin Jake, how's it going, man? You gotta go. There's a live stream on Satoshi Quest. Congrats, bro. Thanks for hitting that like, man. I appreciate it. I haven't actually sent those little things today. Hit that like, that bell, that sub to be notified when we go live. But thank you, Bitcoin Jake, for being here. Awesome to have you, man. Let's see. Like I said, these coins, when people are risk averse, they want to save money, right, for other issues like buying food, etc. So they want to take it out from risky assets. Small value or small value altcoins are probably the riskiest out there. So they're probably the ones that are going to hit the hardest, right? Towards the end of this COVID-19, we might start to see a ramp up once people confidence start to return and that risk awareness starts to leave the market. People start to lose that fear, right, of losing the money, but want to start investing it again. That's when we're probably going to start to see the markets or the alts start pump. And I'm not sure how many are going to be left by that time, right? So again, that's something that you guys got to gauge. I'm not going to tell you what to invest in. I'm noticing divergence off the bat, right? So going from a high to a lower high, and this on the daily, right? Get rid of from the 4 hours. There we go. And then going from a low to a higher, right, in the positive momentum. So positive momentum, more positive momentum, even on the RSI, right? So even though you're going higher, right, on your RSI, so you've taken more relative strength to go to a lower point. That is creating a bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence, potential price continuation. We took a massive drop. Seems like we held at 20. This chart has so much chop on it, right, where we have these small dojis that didn't do much, right, just like no market movement, that make these reads so much harder to do. But again, part of the reason that why it looks so choppy, it could also mean why we're seeing this drop below the 20, but it could have just been that just we held it and we're losing it. Now, something I'm looking shorter term here, high, lower, high, positive momentum, lower on the other side, overbought at 60.54. Again, sorry, not overbought, but bought. You want to tend to come back to neutral. It might move down and hit the 20. See if we were to see that support again. I'm not sure yet. Then the 4 hours just looks miserable, man. Not miserable bad, but miserable in a way that it's just so hard to read because there's just all this like Morse code being written out there, right? I'll just call it that Morse code because there's just so many dojis. I'm not gonna go to the 1 hour because I might not find anything there. I'll just look at it out of curiosity. But though we have strong bearish divergence, price action to the downside, we get the drop, then we get another bounce out of something. I'm not sure if we had divergence. I don't think we had. This is negative momentum. This is less negative momentum. Go from a low to a higher low. We took a bounce in the market. I'm not sure on what. Here we don't have the divergence on the RSI. I'm going to go to the 1 hour. All right. Yeah, this is like not the ideal chart to look at. Yeah, Will Why, man, look. I'm not gonna this is not financial advice. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your dough. What I can say is that during times of uncertainty and recession, and talks about like deceleration, global deceleration, people want to stay safe, right? They don't want to put their money in risky places. So there's a big problem in crypto because crypto is very risky. We're like days away from Bitcoin halving event, and the price is really not pumping that strong on Bitcoin, right? Look at Bitcoin, man. We're seeing even on Bitcoin, we're seeing more of a deceleration on the growth, right? It looks like we're still growing, but it's just getting stagnant, right? And it might not be what we're looking at or what we're looking for. I'll put this on the daily, right? And look, I just adjust this line, and so we can look at it as support. But we're just growing slowly, man. And every time we go high, we just go lower high than the previous high, right? So I mean, we're still going higher, but the increase on that height is less. Sorry, I wanted to rephrase that. It looks more or less like an upsloping, a rising wedge, more or less. But I wouldn't really call it a rising wedge. I'm ignoring the wicks. I was using the candle bodies for the support. And it's not looking pretty, man. This we could, I mean, we're getting tighten up the Bollinger Bands. We could get an explosive move to the upside on people on FOMO, people like fearing missing out the halving event, and on people starting to speculate on the halving event. We could get a nice pump, but we could also get a pump and dump, right, where we just pump because of the halving. Post halving, people start to take profits, and then this just crashes down, brings the whole market down again with it. And it's not going to be good, because then whoever is fearful of getting into crypto is now going to be more fearful of getting into crypto, and it's just not going to be good for anyone, right? So again, right now I'm a little bit more sitting on the sidelines. I do have a play set up for Bitcoin. I'm not looking at altcoins right now. My entry point at Bitcoin is at 7,500. I told you guys that. With potential exit at the 200 simple moving average, that would be at 8,007. And like I said, we have resistance on the weekly, man. On the weekly, we have resistance at the 20, which would be at 7,790. Very close to the 7,807, right, that we were looking for. So again, not too far. We could be within a reasonable pump of breaking up of the 20 on the weekly and the 200 on the daily, right? And my entry point would be at 7,500 with potential exits at 7,700, maybe 7,800. You know, where was the 200? 8,000, I think, was. Sorry, I probably might have miscalled the 200, and it is at 8,007. Yeah, not 7,800. So 8,007. Sorry. But again, very close, right? Still like $200 away. So Bitcoin has made those moves before. I'm not wouldn't be weirded out by it, but you know, not seeing clear movements in the market, real area of opportunity for entry. That would just be my entry for a small play, right? Getting at 7,500, exit at that area more or less, depending on what kind of divergence we're making. If it's bearish, then we might turn down. Then I would exit. If we have something bullish that could potentially have us go higher, then I would just edit my plan, right? My exit strategy. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for tonight, guys. Yeah. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a great time. Fadi, thank you for being here, man. Benny, thank you for being here. Will White, thank you for being here. Bitcoin Jake. And everyone else that's watching, thank you guys for showing up for the stream. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys. You guys know that. This is State of Crypto. I'm your host, Martin. It has been a pleasure being with you all on this awesome Sunday night. I hope you're having a great time. I'll catch you tomorrow for another edition of State of Crypto. Come back and join us. Usually we have more stuff going on the week. There's usually more news. The markets are a little bit more live. During the weekends tend to be a little bit slower. But again, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here. I'll catch you tomorrow for another edition of State of Crypto. Until then, stay cool.